Where are we going?
That's it.
John chapter 10.
You're on there, man.
Okay. All right, will you guys pray for me, please? I like what God's given me to preach on, so I just kind of keep going. I'm just going to kind of keep going with that same theme. So I guess this message started a while back because I seen so many people who don't know the Word of God, who are Christians, and so I was like, remember, how do we know if someone's a counterfeit? We study the Word of God and see if their life matches the Word of God, right? So that's kind of how this all kind of started. And then I've been talking, was Jesus God? Did Jesus say he was God? And so we're just going to look at some more of that tonight. So we're going to look at John chapter 10, which is Jesus is the Good Shepherd, which is pretty cool, actually. So let me put it in context. If we remember, a few weeks ago I talked about the guy who was born blind and Jesus healed him. Okay, so this would have taken place right after that. So remember, I was talking about like a lot of people met Jesus, but only few had an encounter with him, and only few were touched by the hand of God. So we're going to go to John chapter 10. Let's see. I feel like I had some more stuff I wanted to share. I'll get to it. Let me look. All right, sorry. I'm ready. So everyone at John chapter 10?
Yep.
Okay. So here's Jesus. He just healed the guy who was born blind. And then at the end of that chapter, he was talking to the Pharisees. Remember, he said to the blind guy, he said, I want to know him. And he said, well, you've seen him today, and now you do know him. And it said the guy fell on his face and worshiped Jesus, right? So then he kind of said some choice stuff to the Pharisees, and then here he is next. It says, I tell you the truth. Anyone who sneaks over the wall of a sheepfold, rather than going through the gate, must surely be a thief and a robber. So, how many people in here have had something stolen from you? Has anybody in here ever been, like, scammed? Where you're just, like, expecting something to happen, you're just like, wow, and then it doesn't happen. Do you know the feeling in your stomach that you get? Like that feeling of emptiness? Like that feeling like I've been taken advantage of. I've been robbed, right? So here's this blind guy who his whole life has been blind for the glory of God, really. He gets healed, and then here's these guys that hate him for it. They kick him out of the church. And I was just thinking, dude, what do you think that he must have thought of those guys at that point? Probably might have had that same feeling in his stomach. Like, dude, my whole life I've been blind, and now I've been given my sight, and you guys hate me because of it. Right? And so check this out. He says this. Anyone would be a thief and a robber, but the one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. So how they would have had, there was different kinds of sheepfolds, but one would be like this. Maybe a cave, or some kind of like sticks built, and they'd have this big round thing, and they would have a doorway, and the shepherd would actually sleep across the doorway of the sheepfold. right? And that way, if anything wanted to get through there and anybody was going to get to those sheep, they had to come through the shepherd first or climb the wall. So if you knew if someone's climbing the wall, they're no good, right? Okay, so check this out. He says, okay, but the one who enters through the gate is